All right, here we go, man. Hey, episode one. You know,
Episode one.
episode one, man.
Let's get it
It's-
rocking and rolling.
yeah, man. Like I said, man. Like I said, this lives of just trying to get to the next level, man, and trying to move that needle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, trying to move that needle, man. You got so you're playing your plans. You got your plans for the weekend of hitting your five cash buyers up. That's still
Yeah.
in play, or
Still in play.
yeah,
Had to like we always said, like you gotta like set the right foundation first for anything, and so just having that foundation set, of knowing how to target buyers or just anything in general, and then just implementing it and just taking action.
right.
That's the most important thing.
Taking action, man. You hit it on the head with that one, man. Taking action. So, can you go? I guess can you talk about some action that you took this week and then talk about like your experience with it and you know, like what kind of action did you take this week as far as with you and your businesses and stuff like that.
Yeah, just really just getting over the fear of just like picking up the phone or just like going out and just like introducing myself to who I am, because like the number one fear in America is like public speaking, but just like being able to just be yourself and just know like if you take action with anything, if you mess up, that's okay. Like one thing that I always tell myself when it comes to fail, like fail to me is like first attempt in learning. I mean, I'm not gonna like know it all at once, but the more and more I try, and I just put my faith and trust in God at first, and I know through everything, it's always gonna work itself out in the end. It's
Right,
really just taking action though. But
right, right, right.
you have to get yourself out there though, or you will never know.
Yeah, man. Like you'll never know. Like, and if they remember the thing I was saying, like certain things like we do like that. It's like you got to imagine. It's like it's not gonna kill you. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna die.
Right.
Reaching out to people. It's like you may get cussed out or whatever, but I mean that's part of it. Because if you go through life and you talk to a million people, and out of a million, 900,000 of them cussed you out, but 100,000 of them put money in your pocket. That's yeah.
Good,
That's
yeah.
like that's
How
how it
about
is.
yours? How about your
Man,
goals for the week?
my goals will be I did a lot. So I I hired I got a virtual assistant that I hired. He's gonna start Monday doing
Oh wow,
texting and call.
congrats.
Yeah, texting and calls for me. So I got him. I think he's in Nicaragua or Colombia. He's somewhere South America. So
Oh wow.
yeah. So reason why, and this the thing, reason why I got someone from South America is because they're on the same time zone as us. So it like
Really?
yeah. So when you're dealing with VAs, you can find VAs. You can find some decent VAs out there, but sometimes it just be some BS sometimes with some of them because they working third shift and they got families and stuff and they still be
Yeah.
doing they still be texting and doing calls for you and they not or they got they just doing like so they that's I was trying to avoid that because I know that's a big issue. Not saying all of them do it. It's just I was like I
100%
could I
understand.
could have went a cheaper route and got that done. Yeah. So but I didn't. I didn't do that. So what I did was like I said, I went to Upwork and I got someone from South America. And the first thing I did was I put a job ad out there, the one I sent to you. I put a job ad out there. A couple people hit me up. A lot of them, a couple people hit me up. So this one particular one, this one I picked, he didn't hit me up. I hit him up because I was just strolling through and I seen one of his videos of him talking, and it's like he's
Uh huh.
talking just like me and you. But he's talking about he has really great accent, really great English. He knows how to talk on the phone. I was like, that's what I need. I need really good players. If I want to build a team, I need good players. So I was
Right.
like, I was like, hey, so I got him. College. So he's gonna start Monday. He's gonna start the way we're gonna have it set up is from 11 to 3. He's gonna do texting, which is gonna send out 600 texts and do a bunch of replies and stuff. Um, 4 to 8, he's gonna do calls. He's gonna be just calling the people in the list. So that's what I'm gonna be working on this weekend. That's what I'm gonna be working on this weekend is getting the list together, getting the campaigns and stuff set up, getting the list together. And like I said, remember I told you I hit all those different markets. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make campaigns for different markets, which means I'm gonna buy phone numbers for those different markets too, because you need for every 150 dials you make, you need a phone number.
Oh
So
wow.
so I'm gonna have like I need to buy phone numbers. So phone numbers usually can run between $3 to $5 each. So I'm gonna buy like a bunch of phone numbers. You know, be doing which yeah.
That's really good because especially like your return on investment is going to be magnificent once they get everything like
Yeah,
all set in place and it starts like running and whatnot. I mean that's going to be phenomenal, man.
right. Like I said, just when starting here, you start. So I'm gonna be starting here with this part. I'm gonna be starting here with this part, and eventually get this part down pat, and then eventually if it works out with this guy, or if not him, maybe somebody else, eventually I'm gonna move him into an acquisitions role, and
Hmm.
have somebody else, have two other people come in, and have one person doing the text, one person doing the calls, or I may, depending on where I'm at, if if I have that many contacts to be able to hit up, I may have to bring in, have two, have multiple people, because like it's hard to hit, like especially making calls, like I know like a 7 8 hour day, you probably can only make 100. You probably can make like 80 to 100 calls, some contact, you can actually get people on the phone. So if you got it set up where you're doing like 1,500 calls a day, then that'd be a whole different situation. But I hadn't got there yet. My whole thing, I'm starting with the basics. So I'm gonna get this, then get the acquisition stuff down pat, and then I have disposition down pat, and then the same person who's doing dispositions will still will also be doing transaction coordinating for me. So that'll be good too. So that way I want to get to the point where I have the whole system, the whole business running on its own without me actually having to physically do anything. And meaning you can do this can be
That's
done
good.
anywhere. So that's the plan. And then like I said, the whole thing is, my idea is if I uh my idea is every day I'm like working my 9 to 5, I want to be able to be thinking. Want to be thinking of it as I'm earning money for my family, and I'm earning money for my business. So if my business costs XYZ, I need to figure out how much is this business costing me every month. So whatever the business costing me every month, that's my target. That means that's a daily cost of my business. So my daily cost, if I'm not generating money in the business just yet, I need to I need to figure out. I need to go where I'm generating money at and use it to keep the business funded. So that's kind of what my idea is, like, okay,
Keep
like
it
right
alive.
now,
Keep
like
it healthy.
keep you healthy. So right now my VA's costing me $40 a day. So I have to make an extra $40 a day, no matter what. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I look at it. And then I got to figure out what my systems is costing me every day. So altogether, it's probably costing me $50 to $75 a day, maybe possibly $100 a day, just to operate, just to keep my lights on in my business. So that's why I have to just keep out here and grinding. But if I got other people doing the work for me, I don't have to worry about it, and that stuff can be getting done because it's hard for me to do both. And once I can get to the
Right.
point where I'm rolling, yeah, man, that's kind of like, yeah. So that's the thing, man. So yeah,
And that's key. Like when you really look at it, it's like you have like the top, and then you have like different branches, but you delegate each different task off, and then that
hmm
way eventually you have a well oiled machine, and all you have to do really is just keep the maintenance up on it. Really, that's all you have to do
yeah,
at that
that's
point.
all you have to do. Right, you're right about that, man. So
And that's
that's
what's
that's
and that's what's
that's
kind of
key.
like so beautiful about any business or in general. Like you just once you have like the system set up, I mean that system, all you have to do is just keep the system up to date. And it's kind of just like a console or a computer. I mean when you first get it, you mean you got to learn the kinks of it, but eventually that computer, that console, or however the case may be, it's going to need a software update.
Yeah.
Same way with business, you're going to have to always continue to update your business, like by that way, by looking at new trends that's going on. You got to look at new competitors. You got to look at perhaps like new buyers or new sellers. But I mean, but you keep it up to date, so that way you won't. That way nothing will. You won't be lacking or nothing. You'll
Right.
be ahead of the game.
Exactly.
Hmm. That's key.
Yeah.
I
That's
like that.
key, man. Right. That's key. Right about that, man.
But the foundation, that's really with anything like this, laying the right foundation in anything through life. That's I've truly learned. If you have the right foundation, everything else will go smoothly. Now,
Right.
there will be times where you do have hiccups and you may struggle, but if that foundation is right, then whatever may come, if any storms were to come, it's not gonna blow you out because your
Right.
foundation was built strong,
Yeah.
just like a house. I mean,
Yeah.
that house was built on a strong foundation, and a bad thunderstorm, just like we had a couple of days down here in South Carolina. Yeah, some trees may fall and some bushes may blow, but the house isn't going to blow away.
Right.
May have a little bit of wear and tear, but that's always fixable. Same with
Y-
business.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly, man.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what kind of things you? I guess, like I said, I know you said this weekend you're gonna be contacting those cash buyers and all that stuff. You got anything else that you got anything else that you normally do on the weekend or like?
Weekends, I normally I'm starting to journal a lot, so that was one of my goals this year for 2023 was to just journal.
Yeah.
I'm really big on like whatever you write down, because your words have thoughts, and it just goes back to scripture. It's Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. It says, "Write the vision down and make it plain, so those who read it may run with it."
Yeah.
So now I journal every morning for my devotion. I actually did a vision board this year of all the things that I was believing God for,
Yeah.
and I just put my faith and trust in God with it. But then I also know that I have to go put in the work because
Right.
faith without works is dead.
Right.
I can talk about it every day, 24/7. I can know all of it, but eventually I have to put some action in. And that's just like when I mentioned earlier, like I can put the action in. If I fail at it, it's okay. I can't beat myself up. I just know that eventually it's all going to work out, but you just got to keep trying.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, that vision board thing. I have one that I've created like 4 years ago, 4 years ago. And matter of fact, when I go look at it, it's matter of fact, I think I can. Oops, I did that. So what I could do is I can show it real quick. So the camera's gonna show me, but then I think I might be able to flip the phone over. Let me see. Okay, can I flip? Maybe I can't. Let me see. All right. So
Oh
can
well,
you
yeah,
see? Hold on. See
yep.
that? So like the house. So this is a house that we used to go. Me and my wife used to go. Whatever you call that when people be showing a house they want to sell. Open house. We used to go to open houses.
Open
Like we'll
houses.
find
Yeah, open
yeah,
houses.
we'll find like mansions and stuff that we like, and we'll go to open houses and stuff like that. And this is one of the houses that we actually went to, and it was really cool. It was really nice. It was really cool. It was up on the hill. I think it was like about 6,000 square feet. It had like a movie theater at the bottom of it. I mean, it was really cool house. Like it was yeah, real cool. Wasn't too big. Wasn't it was just the right size. And at the time, this house was like 490,000, 500,000. It's like $1 million now. And like I said, that was only
Oh
three
wow.
3 years ago. Yeah, it's like $1 million now. Because everything went up. That was like one of the things. So like I was like, yeah. And then I always wanted this truck right here. This is like a 2011 to 2016 model F350 dually. And I always like these. I still like these. I still want one of these. And then there's Rolls Royce I have right here that I wanted. And then this is like a private school that we were going to send Dallas to. But and that's one of the things we actually did that this year. So we actually got him in. That's why
Oh
we was in
wow.
Alpharetta. Yeah. So we not
Oh,
this school, but a even better school. So we actually got him at a nice private school. So we got him in a private
congrats, dude.
school. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So now the goal is this house is this house is like in Sandy Springs. The goal now is to be able to buy a house near the school, which would be near uh they call it the country club of the South. It's
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's what Andre Rison. Andre Rison had a house there back in the day. I don't know if you heard that story about when Left Eye from TLC burnt this house down.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so back in the day, so you have heard of Left Eye from TLC, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So back in the day, Left Eye used to date this NFL player named Andre Rison, and I guess he was cheating on her or something. So she like went and set his mansion on fire. And but it was in that it was in that neighborhood. It was like the neighborhood that all the all the Atlanta Falcons and all the Brave guys used to like live at. And it's like gated. It's like gated. It's got a golf course in it, and it's pretty cool neighborhood. So I was like, yeah, I was like, it's like I don't know if necessarily you have to stay in that neighborhood, but I just like the whole area. I like Alpharetta and I like Roswell. The area is just nice and cool. So I like to put position myself to for us to be able to like move and live there and like own property there. So that'll be pretty cool. You know what I mean? So
That's
be able to
key.
do that.
What
And
you just
yeah,
said.
yeah, man.
Position.
Yeah. Position, right? Because you know how people be like, oh, I hope to, or man, I hope someday. It's like, I just got to position. I just get myself in position because
That's all you
everything I
gotta
want to
do.
position. It's all you got to do is put in position and put in that work, man. Put in
Position yourself
position.
for it.
Right, put in position, put in the work, and from there, man, you can pretty much have anything you want. So, and it's all about
Like if
and
you
like
wanna,
running your own race, watching your own scoreboard, and you're not competing people and being able to. And this is the one thing I do know: adding value to people, even if you feel like you're not gonna get nothing out of it.
yes, that's a Adam. That speaks volumes. I mean, by itself because when you add value, it it's so beautiful how it all works itself out because you don't because that's those are seeds that you're sowing that you're planting and you're not gonna get the harvest the next day, but the more value you add, you're gonna have a whole field, and there's gonna be a harvest that's gonna come back to you. But you
Right,
just gotta keep on just being faithful. That's the key is being faithful when you add value, and when you
right,
do it from the heart, everything else is gonna work itself out for you.
yeah, definitely, man.
Do it with the right attitude. You learn how
Yeah,
to add value. You serve, and you just do it from the heart. That's
yeah,
the most important thing. Doing it from the heart.
yeah, man, definitely doing it from the heart, man.
And I like how you mentioned position because position is key. Like you can have anything you want in this world. I mean anything, but you have
Anything,
to be in position in order to get it. Because if you're not in
everything,
position, you'll fumble it.
right,
Like if you want to get a car, if you want to get a brand new car, that's great. Go position yourself for it. Okay, you one way that I did it was okay. I knew what my credit score was. I knew I need to put a certain amount of money down on a car, or even with a house. You want to buy a house, okay? See what your credit score look like. Look at different loan type products. Look at a house that you can actually afford instead of just like going buying just like a $500,000-600,000 house, knowing like can't really get it at the time, but you can position yourself for it if you come up with the right plan and
right,
lay the right foundation.
right, exactly. Yeah, that's key, man. That's definitely key. I had tagged you. Yeah, I invited you and tagged you into this group that I'm in called Monday or Jason Drees Monday Reset Mindset group or something coaching group. He's a mindset coach, which is also Brandon Turner's mindset coach, who pretty much like you see what he helped Brandon do. Like when he helped like when he helped Brandon change his mindset to the point where Brandon had like 100 properties. Well, he had like 30 properties. Then he had 100 properties. Now he like has almost 10,000 properties.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's like right on the heels of like like having $1 billion business, and he owns 10% of it. So yeah, I think if he owns 10% of a $1 billion business, no, he own no, excuse me, no, he owns no, he owns more than 10% of it. I forgot how the structure is, but he owns more than 10% of it because it's his business. I think he
Oh
like might
wow.
have yeah, I think he might own like I don't know exactly the percentage, but he owns a lot of it. Like I said, he's got a lot of money. And it ain't just about the money because like doesn't flaunt it. It's just I watch him go from being a pretty decent investor to now he's like a top investor, and he kind of like his mindset is just different. Like he don't sit around thinking about I can't do this or I hope someday. It's like he actually takes action, and the way he does it, he don't physically do it. He just builds really good people around him, like really good people. He build really good people around. So that's really inspiring. So I follow that guy Jason, and every Monday they have like a Monday reset call on Zoom at um 11 a.m. Eastern time, 10 It's 10 a.m. Central Time or something, or yeah, so 10 a.m. Central Time because they're like in Austin, Texas or something. So they
Okay.
always have like a Monday Zoom meeting. I always like get on that's free. I'll send you the link to it. You can start like checking it out too if you can. But it's really good. Go on there and they just go on there and it just goes over like he'll have you saying stuff like I I take full ownership of my life and everything in it. And that's kind of like how I'll be looking at stuff like taking full ownership of everything, my life and everything in it.
We
You
have
know what I'm
to.
saying?
I mean,
Yeah,
we truly have to. I mean, we have to.
have to.
We always have to hold ourselves accountable at all
Have to
times.
at all times, and also not playing, not looking for someone to blame, not looking for someone to blame, and just looking for solutions for all your problems. Finding a way,
Mhm.
still, because the complaining doesn't change anything. Pretty
No,
much holds you back. But trying to figure out, okay, so what is the problem? What do I need to do to solve the problem? What options do I have? When I'm gonna start taking these actions? And then you do all that, and then the more you do, you'll start figuring out. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how that's like my approach to everything.
because it's nothing really but a test. And if you don't
Nothing.
pass the test, then you're gonna have to retake it. And
Have to retake it, and it's just time waste of
and
time, man.
sometimes I got tired. Sometimes we get tired of taking the same test over and over and over. Like
Right,
eventually,
right.
like we went over the study guide. Like we know the test is coming. Okay, but we have to be in position for it, and we have to be ready for it. And if not, then we're just gonna continue to just fall for anything or just say anything or just do certain things, and then we look up and it's just like, why did I do that? So it's really just holding yourself accountable, and also um, having accountability partners is key. People who hold you accountable also
Right.
is major.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, exactly. That's why I say like it was like this week, man. Every day I was like, hey, did you do this? Did you call the person? Did you? Or you like, you know what I'm saying? You like, because you was just saying having that accountability, man. It's like, man, let me go ahead and do this, cause like, and it's like once you do it, cause the thing is, it's almost like learning how to swim. Once you learn how to swim, once you get out there and figuring it out, it's like, oh man, like this one thing I was scared of. I finally got it and I figured it out. So man, that's how this whole thing is. So that's why I'm like every single day, man. I've been like just soaking up with because we're salesmen. That's what we do. We're in the business of selling. So just learning how to talk, learning how to sell, learning how to listen. That's the biggest part is listening. Learning how to add value. Learning how to like read the room, adding value, be like, okay, so you're going in with that attitude of man, I'm gonna go ahead and just help people. Because every time knowing when you're helping people, people appreciate that. And when people appreciate you, you can count on them. Not saying that you're doing it so that you can count on them, but people just love helping people that they feel like love helping them. That's just how it is. People just love being around people that add value to their life. Gives them a fresh breath. They hate being around people who drain them. They like people who drain them. People call their phone. They see the person calling. They don't pick up. People who drain them. They see them coming. They like, oh, I gotta go the other way. And it's like it just messes their whole temperature, their body up, just because of someone's gonna come with this drama, this drainage that you don't want to tolerate. So yeah, man,
Hit that on the nail.
you got you, man. Like my cousin, man, I got cousin that's in prison, and like he texted me. He was texting me. I was telling him about what I was doing with like trying to hire, for a VA. And I was explaining to how it work and stuff, and then he was like, "Yeah, man." And he hit me up. He was like, "Man, I got something. He's like, I got something to tell you, man. Between me and you, man, about my old girl, about my girl or whatever." I just ignored that whole message and just kept talking about the VA, man, because like I don't want to talk about him and his girl, none of that stuff, man. Like I don't,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It just understands. Like this is the thing. You be different. Like this is the thing. In some situations, people you kind of got to know, especially when you get older, man. You should know who's for you and who's not for you. Small little tests will tell you who's for you and not for you. If a person is doing something and it seems like they're trying to harm you or they're saying things to you to try to to hurt you some kind of way, they are not for you and you should get away from them as fast as you can. But if someone has your best intentions at heart and they'll do anything for you and and they mean anything morally, anything that's righteous. I ain't talking about like doing crazy stuff for you, but
yeah,
doing like righteous stuff for you. That's a person that you should keep yourself around. But Anybody who shows anything different, anybody that shows that they could possibly be a snake, you have to separate yourself from. I don't care how much you like, how much of a bun you guys have. It doesn't matter. You have to cut it off now. You have to get rid of it because otherwise,
You can lose it. You
you're
can
gonna
lose
lose
it
it, man.
all.
Yeah, man. So like I said, we getting ready. It's like I know it's the time getting ready to cut in, but I mean, I wanted to like ask you about like any like anything like is there any books that you've read lately, or you had any your best or yeah, any books that you've read lately, and what's your favorite business book? Start with that. What's your favorite business book that you've read?
Favorite business book? I would have to say Rich Dad Poor Dad
Good
is
one.
my favorite business book by Robert Kiyosaki. That book,
Yeah.
it really just teaches you like everything about business, about like what's the difference between like an asset and a liability, and having your assets pay for your liabilities, and just and just barely just like learning how to build wealth. One of my favorite books I would have to say that I really enjoyed reading is called The Go Giver, and basically that book talks about the key to success is giving, and not from like a financial standpoint, but more of a just like we just talked about, like adding value. Like, how can you go help others by giving the right advice, giving your time, giving back to local charities, giving overall, and in return, doors and opportunities were open up for you that you can't even imagine. So that book really taught me a lot. One of the quotes that I really got out of that is like, what you focus on is what you get, and that can go into really good depths. And so that's something I always like keep in my back of my head. Like, what I focus on is what I'm gonna get. If I focus on, okay, like buy I want to buy this, or if I focus on I want to get this done, or I focus on I want to get that done, eventually I'm going to accomplish it. But you just got to have the right mindset. So Rich Dad Poor Dad's my favorite business book, and The Go Giver.
Go get it. Okay. What about your favorite real estate book?
mm, my favorite real estate book, I would probably have to say the Burr Strategy book. That book really
Yeah.
talks about like the Burr method.
Yeah.
And the Burr method in real estate is like, you buy a house, you rehab the house, you rent the house, you refinance it, then you repeat. And that amount, and just by saying that, it sounds easy, but it's a lot of work that goes into it. But the book explains everything, how that process works, and just taking the principles out of that book and applying it, um, is beneficial. So if you find a property, let's say you find a property off market for, let's say, and it's worth 140,000. Um, there's different ways you can get the funding for that property. Um, you have to figure out how much it's going to cost to rehab that property. Then you also have to go into then you also have to do a little bit of research to see, well, okay, how much can I rent the property for? Um, After that, then you can take that property to a local bank or credit union and get a cash out refinance, which most banks do between 70 to 80% normally, loan LTV, which is loan to value, and then you repeat that process, and that's how a lot of investors build their rental portfolios, through the Burr method.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones too. I think that's one of my favorite real estate books too. I've read so many books. And yeah, that's definitely one book that definitely like got me rolling, got me going. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
based my start and my beginnings were based off of what I learned from that book. So yeah, that's definitely a good one, man. Well, man, like I was saying, man, like I enjoyed this being able to do these podcasts with you, man. It's the first one, episode 1.
Oh
They only
yeah,
gonna they only gonna get better. Gonna
they
be
are.
more right. Gonna be prepared and be able to like have like a whole nice little structure, no little plan. But man, definitely start making more of these things each week, man. And that's saying, man, we talking about, man, it's episode 100. And it's like, yeah, and it's gonna be crazy, like to go see how far we come back from episode one
Yeah,
to episode 100, because each week we're gonna be going over objectives as far as like, okay, so this week this is the plans I have for this week. Like right now, this is Friday. Today is Friday. Today is Friday, so I got today, tonight, Sunday, Monday. Well, yeah, I got Monday before 12. to get everything going so I can have my virtual assistants ready to go. But I want to have everything really ready. I'm gonna have everything ready by Sunday, so that way I'm set him up for success. So I have everything ready to go and be tested out this week. That's what I'm pretty much spending all my time doing once when Angela go to sleep. Cause I still have to, you still have to like manage those times of being at home, doing family stuff. So when she goes to sleep,
Right.
I'm gonna probably go get me a Red Bull or something like that. Or either give me a coffee or something like that, and I'm just gonna be up working, just working the systems, just working just to see how, testing out like this is how it's gonna be on Monday at 11 o'clock. He gets started doing the test, doing the test, doing the test. Cause I did that today. Did the test. Okay, sending out the test, send out 600 texts. I sent out like 600 texts in like 3 hours. 200 texts every hour. That's what I did. Send out, and the way it works is the way the system I got. You just hit the enter button. You hit that enter button, and it'll shoot to 200. So you do 150, and then you do 50. Then you wait an hour. You do 150 and do 50. You wait an hour. Do 150, do 50. Wait an hour, and I mean that'd be it. Cause all I can do is do 600. I have the 600 plan. But that's all it takes. And the rest of the time, in the time between when you're doing the text, you just be replying to the people that you text. So you're just replying to the ones who text you back saying, get most of them say not interested. I got templates for that say thank you for your response. And this, that, and the third, and gives them pretty nice little message. Then once I finish doing that, I put them in a drip campaign, and that drip campaign is gonna follow up automatically with this person on whatever time I got the drip campaign set up for. That way, that person's always gonna be getting hit until they tell me to leave them alone, never contact them again. Once they tell me that, I put
Hmm.
them on do not contact list, and then I just, but long as long as they tell me don't not contact them, I'm gonna be hitting them up. I'm hit them up. It might be 6 months, it might be a year, it might be 3 years, but people change their mind and stuff like that. And if that's the thing, if it might get to a time where they may want to sell their house, but they want retail for it, well, then I'll be able to refer that property to a realtor. And like you, I know you have plans on getting your real estate license, so that could be a situation for you. If we get a property and someone needs to be represented, you can give you a lead. You see what I'm saying? So that's just how things go, man. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure, man.
yeah, man. So definitely, man. We definitely gonna have to get this thing going, man. Again, next week. Have us thing set up, man. I know you said you got a game to go to tonight, so man, enjoy yourself at the game. And
Oh
man, I
well.
guess yeah, man. Like I said, we'll just be in touch, man. And like I said, I'll keep sending you when I see certain stuff that I think you may like and might get some value out of it. I'm just gonna send it. I'm gonna send it to you. Send it to you and stuff like that, man. Cause I
Me as
get a lot
well.
out of
I'll
that.
send
Yeah,
you the same.
yeah, man. We gotta send each other stuff, man. See, yeah, that's how we gotta do, man. I'm gonna go ahead and let you get on out of here, man. But I appreciate it, and I'll send you a link to this thing, man. As soon as I get this thing set up and right, okay?
All right. Sounds
Uh,
great, man. Appreciate it.
Ain't no problem, man. I'm gonna holler at you, man.
See ya.
Yep.